Hey everybody, welcome back to GWN. I'm Noctair, your host. So, a lot of folks have been asking me, hey Noc, what do you think about this new Super PEKKA buff? And I thought, well, let's give it a try. Yesterday, SuperCell surprised us by telling us they were basically speeding up the Super PEKKA, and we had no real notice that this was coming, along with a wall record nerf, which was unfortunate. So, they put this into place, and I've been playing with it all day. And I got some replays. We'll go through these. The first one here is on a not maxed base, and I think all four of these replays they have something under construction. They may not. I don't remember offhand. But what I found is that the straight up P.E.K.K.A cart attack strategy works a little bit better now than it has for the last, I don't know, a few weeks here. When they released Builder Hall 8, they nerfed the Super P.E.K.K.A's death damage, and then they buffed her HP or her DPS. I think it was DPS. I understand that that's what's in the release notes, but at that point, P.E.K.K.A carts became completely and totally unusable for me. I don't know why. I wasn't able to get it to work for anything anymore. As you can see here, I'm able to get it to work a little bit better, but this is not against a maxed base by any stretch of the imagination. Most of these bases have level 7 and level 8 defenses, but getting to the 3-star, it's not really happening like it used to. So I think the P.E.K.K.A, she still needs a bit of a buff. She's definitely better. Don't get me wrong, it's definitely improved. But what I'm seeing when I use her is more like this replay. Did this one earlier today. I think I've done about 20 or maybe even as many as 30 attacks using the Super P.E.K.K.A today. And I started off playing just the P.E.K.K.A carts, which has typically 3 camps of P.E.K.K.As and 3 camps of cannon carts. And I also did one, as you can see, with 4 P.E.K.K.A and just 2 camps of cannon carts. The 4 and 2 actually worked better than the 3 and 3 for me. You got a little more tanking power out of the Super P.E.K.K.As when I took 4 of them rather than 3. So with P.E.K.K.A carts, I'll probably continue to do that when I decide to use it. When is the best time to use it? I'm still on the fence. I definitely think that it will do well against the standard, substandard, open box base like most of the ground and really any of the cannon cart strats do. But these diamond bases, I'm a little on the fence about whether or not to use P.E.K.K.A carts against them now, because I haven't been seeing the same kind of response, the strength that I want to see. I mean, even this one was kind of a clutch win, and it was only a 2-star, 79%. Now, these next two are what I'm kind of foreseeing as the future of the Super P.E.K.K.A as I'm going to use her. And that's in more or less a mixed hybrid army. Taking a look at this particular Sidewinder base here. You've got long lengths on either side. And that is really good for getting things to break through the walls. So you don't need to take your typical bombers to do that. I like dropping that Super P.E.K.K.A at the apex, one side or the other, take your pick, and letting her break through and open up that apron for my troops, and then having to do the same thing at the next level. I did this on a base earlier today that had 3 different sets of walls, and I just broke through each one down all the way through, and I got about a 72% 2-star, I think it was. This one here ends up being a 3-star. But again, I think it's because the Super P.E.K.K.A is not a featured troop so much as a supporting troop. And as you can see, she doesn't last nearly as long in this particular attack as some of my earlier videos with P.E.K.K.A carts and other times I've used the Super P.E.K.K.A in general. She just doesn't have the stamina. The HP's not there. Will they buff it again? I don't know. The general consensus from people I've talked to and from what I've seen even on the forums is that it's not enough. She needs more of a buff. And I tend to fall into that camp as well. It definitely will work really well for those of you that are running in that 3,000 to 4,000 range. Anybody down there who's got Super P.E.K.K.A, you are going to absolutely clean up using a P.E.K.K.A cart strat down there. When you start getting up into the 4,000s though, it's going to be a little bit sketchier depending upon the kind of base you go against and just how max they are, what they have max versus what they don't. Just really, it depends. When I go up against some of these bases around 4,500 today, which is just a couple days after season reset. And I see, mostly maxed defenses, or mostly level 8, especially the key defenses. I'm going to go with something like what you see I used just now and what Lame is using here as well. It's going to be a combination of Giants and Cannon Cards and Super PEKKA. And if there's, the walls are of the right level, I might even take Bombers like Lame does here. Because that's gonna get you into the base more quickly. And the quicker you can get into the base, the more damage you're going to be able to do. The more damage you can do, obviously, the better the percentage and the chance of getting a 2-star. Which, of course, that's the goal. That's what we want to do. The higher the 2-star, the more likely you're going to win and be able to take away the loot from the attack. So that's kind of my thoughts on the Super PEKKA and where we are right now with it. Hopefully, SuperCell will see fit to do another buff. They got all the data, though. They're the ones watching and seeing. They're going to know who's been using it and who hasn't it. They're kind of like Santa Claus that way, He sees you when you're sleeping and he sees you when you're awake. They know if it's overpowered or if it's underpowered and what they have to do with it. So we're just kind of in a waiting pattern to see exactly what happens with it. At any rate, this one's going to wrap up now. We'll go ahead and speed up the replay a little bit here to knock it out. There we go. Let him hammer through that wall, and boom. Thanks a lot for sticking around to the end of the video. I hope you found it entertaining and useful. If you would, please hit that like button down there. If you're new to the channel, welcome, and hit subscribe. Hit the little bell so you know when I put out a new video. Take care, and y'all keep on clashing. Bye-bye.